The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning. Welcome to the third in our new series of D-Link webinars. We've got quite an exciting episode this week for you guys. We'll be talking about Nucleus Cloud and Nucleus Connect. And here with me as always, we've got D-Link's premier tech, pre-sales tech engineer, Craig Kirby. He's itching to get on and talk about Nucleus, but I'm going to delay him from starting a little bit, just to give you a quick introduction into what we're going to be talking about. So we offer two solutions as part of the Nucleus family to match your specific requirements. Nucleus Cloud is our simple cloud management, simple cloud managed networking. It's a fully scalable solution. It's simple, intuitive, and it's designed to be scalable with your business. One of the premier parts of Nucleus Cloud is that it's really, really easy to manage the interface, either via apps or through a web browser. The other option you have on the table is Nucleus Connect. Now, Nucleus Connect is a free to download piece of network management software. It can be that can be hosted locally. It's robust, customizable, and delivers cost-effective scalability. It's easily integrated into your existing network infrastructure. So Craig's going to take us through that in much more detail, so that you can talk to your customers, or even for your own networks, decide which one of our two solutions would best suit you. Before I hand over, please leave any questions down in the sidebar. We're sure there's going to be a lot of questions on this, because a lot of people have been waiting a long time to see Nucleus in action, ourselves included in that conundrum. So without further ado, I'll go over to the first slide and hand over to Craig.
Thanks, Alan. Yeah, so as you say, it's been a long time. It feels like a long time it's been coming. And it's something that I've certainly been beta testing along with all of our product management team for quite some time now. So to actually get to the point where this week we've finally got our 1.0 product out.
It's like your baby, shelf. Craig.
It is. It's
you've invested a lot of time and effort in this.
A lot of people here have. And I think we're just finally excited to see how people take to it. So yeah, as Alan was saying, we have two products, and we launched Nucleus Cloud originally last year, and it was purely just for access points, and that was our first cloud offering. Now, in the past, we've also had a software platform as part of our portfolio. So we kind of had a look and thought about a decision that we were going to make, and find out what we were going to do with our portfolios in the future, what with cloud being so popular and just driving technology forward in sort of every aspect of our lives. And we thought to ourselves, well, how can we take our current portfolio, all of our legacy of devices, and how can we bring those forward with us to the cloud as well? So what we did was we went right back to the drawing board with all of our what was previously called Central Wi-Fi Manager software. And Central Wi-Fi Manager software is compatible with all of our DAP access point range. So just give you all a bit of a history of it. That's what we've had in the past, and that was our software portfolio. Now, we obviously want to tie that into the future of the rest of our portfolio. All of the access points that are released for our software manager, which are current range access points, and they vary from Wave 1, Wave 2 devices and other things in the past. We want to bring those with us. We want to start keeping that portfolio, but also expand on it and make it manageable and bring all the tools that we expect of a modern day network management environment, and actually use it with our devices. So that's what we have. We've developed Nucleus Connect, and that's just launched right out the door over the last week.
Yeah.
And so this is really our introduction to it and how it works. So now we have our two portfolios. So if we have a look at Nucleus Cloud, Right now we've got cloud access points, and coming very, very shortly is going to be our cloud switches as well. And we're going to have a look through those of how they look and what they offer as a range as well. So those are our cloud products. Now, just to be clear, our Nucleus Cloud is built in the cloud. It's purposely designed, and that's a management platform that's zero-touch provisioning. You plug in an access point and off you go. You will have a subscription that you take for your access points and license fees that come with that. So it's a license fee. It's actually free to get into the management platform. You can sign up and have a look, and you could do that today if you wanted to. And then you add your access points, and each access point will have a license.
So it's a pay-as-you-go model, essentially, isn't it?
It is, yes. Yeah. And if you buy an access point, you get 1 year with that. Brilliant. Straight off the bat. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And then we have a look at our Nucleus Connect. And like I said, that was our legacy products, our DAP series access points. So if you're someone that's been with D-Link for a while and you've already been using Central Wi-Fi Manager, you're going to be really excited about this, because you're basically going to take all of those access points in that management platform and align it into today's modern day standard. So it's really exciting as well. Now, in the future, we'll also be having managed and smart switches that are already released, and some to be released in the future as well. And we're going to make those compatible with Nucleus Connect going forward.
Yeah, I think once people start using Nucleus Connect, they'll be asking for that a bit more. So we might have to speed the guys up on that one.
Yeah. And now you'll also see there that we've mentioned about single sign-on, and this is how we're trying to do it. So single sign-on is coming shortly, and what it means is that you'll use the same login credential for your Nucleus Cloud products as you do the Nucleus Connect, and that means that you'll be able to have local-based servers, so a local management environment that also has a few cloud features with it.
Brilliant. So now just to go into the two products specifically, we're going to start with Nucleus Connect, as we said, the software solution, and Craig's going to just give us a quick tour of what exactly it can do in a little more depth.
Yeah, so Nucleus Connect, what actually is it? What does it do for you? That's probably the first thing we have to actually ask.
Indeed.
Ourselves, right? So let's say you've got some access points and you want to say it's either a new office, or you want to replace your access points that you've got in the office. Now, you don't want to run around every 2 minutes making a change to, say, 8 or 9 access points, because that's a lot of work and it's a lot of changes that you have to make. And especially if you want to go change your passwords and things like that, you'd have to, it'd take you half a morning to try and do things. Plus, you never know if it's up or down, or if there's any problems with the access point and what's actually going on the network as well. So to have a management platform means that you can do all of these changes in a few keyboard clicks and push out the profiles to all of the access points that are on the network. And it also tells you how many clients are joining your network and how much traffic is being generated, who's the most common user for Wi-Fi. And sometimes you can't get this information at the router level either. Sometimes you have to get it from the access points, because the access points is your first point of joining the network. And especially if you have a guest network. So if you start doing guest networks, you want to see how much data is being used. And it also has some fancy features to tell you whereabouts the access points are placed. So you can put a floor plan into this, and that means that you can actually start seeing how many users are joining the access points, and you can start making some actual logic as well. So let's say you have 10 access points that are in an area. Maybe only 2 or 3 of those access points are getting the most use, with the most users. So maybe it means that you can put an access point that's maybe not used so much in that area to try and balance the load, and it keeps your network more stable, more efficient.
And the user interface looks great for me from a marketing perspective. It reminds me of some of the stuff you get on Google with all the graphs, and I think a lot of people will be familiar with that kind of a setup, down the side and then the graphs in the main area.
So like I say, we've all done bar graphs and bar charts, so it's something we can understand.
Okie doke. So now just a quick tour of the compatible access points there.
So this is really the strength of Nucleus Connect, is that we've already got all these access points out there. So what it means is that if you do have one of these access points, with the launch of Nucleus Connect, you'll also have a new firmware. So what you'll have to do is, if you do want to use Nucleus Connect, you'll have to upgrade the firmware to the latest firmware that's just been released for each model, which will be a 2.0 firmware. And that makes it compatible with Nucleus Connect. But that means that right from the get-go, we've got this great range of access points that go from anything from 2.4, 5 gigahertz, dual bands. We've got some plenum-rated devices, outdoor access points with Gore-Tex vents. The whole range is there. Plus, all the new ones that are going to be coming into it will be manageable as well. So, as you can see, we've got a new one coming out very shortly for Q4. And that's the DAP 2620. Now, the nice thing about that access point is that it's designed for hospitality. So if you're someone that resells into things like hotels, it's perfect, because you put one of these access points, which is just a small broadcast, in each room, and it also has some RJ11 ports as well. So if they have a telephone which goes down to a reception for all of your ordering and room service and things like that, then the port will just go right next to it, and you've got internet connectivity in every room across the hotel. So,
and they're a lot smaller than the traditional ones.
It's designed to be to look well and be a part of the room, but not so jarring.
The wall mount on the wall, they probably look like a lamp or something similar to that.
It integrates quite nicely.
So yeah, we're looking forward to getting those.
So what we didn't have before on our central Wi-Fi manager was an app to actually manage everything. Now, the brilliant thing about this, and what makes it so easy, and we've done lots and lots of testing on this, is that you can use this app to pull a profile from the server. So let's just be really clear what the difference between Nucleus Connect and Nucleus Cloud is. Nucleus Connect is for devices that are local. So it's a local management platform. So let's say you have 8 or 9 access points. You would install the software onto a PC, maybe either on a server or even just running off a Windows 10 PC, something like that, that you know is going to be on all the time. It's a small piece of software. It's free to download. You install it, and then you can control all of your access points. Now, obviously, you have to find the access points first on your network once they're plugged into the network. And this is where the app comes into play. Because what you can do is you can get all of the server provisioning. So you pull the latest file from the server using this application. And then you search for all of the devices in a couple of clicks on your app. And it finds all the access points that you've plugged in. And it pushes out the profile from the server into the access points. And it makes this link between the access point and the server. Now, the nice thing about that as well is that you don't necessarily have to have the software local. You can even host it yourself somewhere else. So it goes over the internet. Don't have to host it locally if you don't want to. It's possible to do that. And because it's an outbound connection, it makes it nice and easy.
Excellent. So now, after that quick tour of Nucleus Connect, let's have a look at Nucleus Cloud in a little bit more details. And we've got a newly released access point and some switches coming soon, Q4. Very hopefully, we're itching to get our hands on them and get out there. So
that's right. Yes. Yeah. So let's just reiterate what we kind of went through a moment with our Nucleus Connect platform. I just mentioned that it takes a PC and you host it locally. So it's something that you generally do yourself, or maybe you have an IT team that does it for you. But somewhere along the lines, that takes a little bit of manpower to do. And it's not too hard to do. But if you're not into networking, or you're not someone who's tech savvy, say, then maybe you'd be considering the Nucleus Cloud platform. The reason you want that is because it's zero-touch provisioning, and there's very little that you actually have to do at that network level. It's literally a case of you plug in your access points into the network, and as long as there's a DHCP server, which basically means that it gets an IP address automatically, as long as it can do that and get out to the internet, you can connect it to the cloud. And because it's directly connected to the cloud, you just literally put in your account details into a web browser, you put in the special code that comes with the access point, and instantly you'll be able to get online and up and running within a few small profile changes. But the whole point of that is you plug it in, connects to the cloud, and off you go. And that's a very different kind of way.
Sounds good.
So because Nucleus Cloud is a lot newer, we've had to release some brand new access points for this portfolio. You see, so all of the access points that come out with our Nucleus Cloud product are Wave 2 as a beginning entry level. Okay, so Wave 2 means that you get better, faster AC speeds, which is the latest and greatest wireless technology right now. And because it's a Wave 2 access point and it's brand new, we also are releasing all of our access points with WPA3 support. Now, for those of you not familiar with that sort of thing, I'll explain that in a moment. On the next slide.
We've got an upcoming slide on that one. So this is the
this is the DBA 1210P product. It's a 2x2 access point, and this is really designed to go into a small office environment, I would say. It'll probably do a couple of rooms, but if you really need access point, if you really need Wi-Fi in crucial areas, then you could put an access point in multiple rooms, and this would be the access point that you go with. Sure. It's a smaller broadcast, but it's concentrated.
Right. Okay. And then we have the other option, which is the newly released 2820p.
Yeah, so the DBA 2820, this is a bigger beast. This is designed to do a bigger broadcast, push it out there, and get as many clients connected in a smaller range as possible. So maybe you'll be looking at to do multiple rooms, or maybe you'd be putting this in, let's say, a sports hall for a school or something like that.
So a bigger area and probably somewhere requiring more speed, perhaps, because it's a slightly faster access point.
Yeah, the speed is still slightly different. You do get more on the AC 5 gigahertz on this one. So as you see, it goes up to 2,533 megabits as a throughput threshold. But like I said, it's really down to how many hosts it can.
Sure, of course. Right. Yeah. And the switches?
Yeah, so these are our DBS 2000 switches, which are coming very soon. They're kind of based upon our DGS 1210 series, which is one of our best products that people always tell us that they go to. Really good for putting into environments where you're doing PoE. So you're putting in cameras, you're putting in wireless access points, that sort of thing. But more importantly, these are still zero-touch provisioning. So like the access points, you can plug in the switch and it connects to the cloud and off you go. Again, you don't need a great deal of networking technology. But more importantly, imagine you have all of these switches in a big environment. And let's say you've got a school, maybe a secondary school, and these schools want to put in loads of switches all around. So you have art blocks, you have sixth form blocks, science areas, all of these places that you need to go. Now, if you put that into a network diagram, you're looking at on a big school, and I've done a few big schools, probably like 20 or 30 switches. Now, you have to manage all these switches. Certainly, you can't go around making changes on each and every one. I mean, that would take you weeks. So what you can do with these cloud switches is it's a one-page portfolio. When you access the website, you see all of the ports that are available to you and all the switches. So you don't have to go around making all these changes. You make it once, you make it quickly, and it's so simple and easy to manage. That's the real power of having switches in the cloud. Every port is available to you. You can see what's going on, how much traffic's gone through it, and you get all the reporting that comes with cloud as well.
Brilliant. And they're coming soon. So, as Craig mentioned, WPA3.
So, WPA3 is literally the next Wi-Fi security standard that everybody should be trying to get. Devices will be coming out of WPA3 as well, but connectivity-wise, if you connect on WPA3, it just basically means there's a high level of encryption. So make sure that your data that when you connect is secure and stable and it's not vulnerable to attack from other sources. There's always some element of security risk whenever you use a device, but keeping up to the latest standards is crucial in this day and age.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out on cyber security and protection. So it's been a long time since WPA2 looking at that. So probably well timed in these.
So WPA and WPA2 have been around for quite a while. So it's nice to see that we've finally got something that is new and is going to protect us for a long time.
And this is going to be on all of the
So this is on all of our cloud access points because they're new. With our other range, our Nucleus Connect products, they are coming. There's a roadmap to get them up to speed. But anything that's on the 2.0 will of course be looking at under investigation for WPA3 as well. Excellent. And any new products that come out will automatically be WPA3.
Yeah. Fantastic. Right.
Yeah. So just a few differences just to see how it works. So with our Nucleus Cloud, it connects straight to our cloud platform.
Very simple.
Very simple. Very simple. With our Nucleus Connect software, it still connects to the cloud because you can have your single sign-on security. And what we'll be doing in the future is we'll be creating more of a bridge and more of a connection. So in the past, generally what people would do is they'll install their software and manage locally. Now, that's great if you've got you're an end user, for example, and you've got your one environment and you have a tech team with that one environment. But what if you're a reseller? How are you going to manage all of the people that you've sold to, especially if you've sold it to someone that doesn't have a tech team and you're managed service provider, so you're providing that support. And that's where it comes in to have that connection there, because what it means is that you'll be able to log into the cloud and you'll also be able to log in to those local servers. So you still get the protection of having something local, but still something that you can manage and control. And the access points and switches will be able to connect to that local server, which will then send the information back to the cloud.
Okay. So after all that, pardon me, which of the solutions is right for you? So
if you're a small to medium business and you, like I said, you don't have the IT staff to manage anybody, or you yourself, perhaps you're an end user that has a requirement for access points, but you don't want to spend the time to actually control them or monitor them or anything like that, then probably the cloud solution is going to be better for you. It's a complete solution. You guaranteed uptime. Because of how it's hosted. It's hosted by us, and it's simple. And more importantly, if you're considering access points in a very large area, so if you've got really big installs, and those installs might grow over time, maybe new buildings or new companies join you, then you want something that's scalable. And because it's on the cloud, there is no limit to how many access points that you can actually put on the cloud for you.
Yeah.
So that is perfect for those kind of people. Now, who's Nucleus Connect more appropriate for? It's probably for someone that is more conscious of connectivity in terms of data. So maybe if you're working in, let's say, big security, if you have really fundamental requirements and you don't want that connectivity going out of your local network, then that's certainly something that you can host locally and you can host it on a local machine. If you've ever bought any of our DAP range in the past, you certainly want to be looking at Nucleus Connect, get them upgraded. You'll be able to take advantage of that WPA3 security, plus all the management that comes with it. It's free to actually install, but what more importantly about the Nucleus Connect product is that it's multi-tenancy as well. So you can actually create multiple networks. So if you're doing an install and you're thinking of reselling and being a managed service provider, you'll be able to manage up to 1,000 access points, depending on the PC that you go with. So there are some specs, and we certainly have minimum requirements. Minimum requirements would do 100 access points, and if you put it on a bigger PC with a bit of a meatier CPU or a memory, you'll be able to go up to 1,000 access points.
I mean, that's one of the key points, is that the multi-tenancy on the Connect.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you've got 3 or 4 companies that you've installed for, you can manage it from one single pane, and it'll tell you what access points are up and down. So generally what happens is you'll actually get a report that there's an access point down or an interruption of what's going on the network before even the end user knows.
That's brilliant. So who's it for?
Yeah, who's it for?
Looking at a few of the target markets. Sorry about that. It flipped over 2 slides then. A few of the target markets who we're aiming at. So the managed service providers up the top on their own, and as Craig mentioned briefly.
Yeah. So the managed service providers, just to be clear, we have a way of creating two different types of accounts here at D-Link. So if you was to purchase an access point and you were just an end user, you'd be able to create your own account and off you go. But if you're a managed service provider, then it's certainly worth getting in touch with us, because what we can give you is a managed service provider account, which gives you some extra control and a little bit more flexibility when it comes to multi-site tenancies and things like that. So definitely get in touch with us for that. However, Nucleus Connect again and Nucleus Cloud is definitely aimed for our small, medium business and enterprise, medium enterprise as well. We're certainly putting them into education. As I mentioned, hospitality, we've got a massive range that we can sort of shoehorn into every kind of environment.
Definitely.
Retail, we have captive portals both on Nucleus Connect and Nucleus Cloud. So if you're providing guest Wi-Fi, what we'll be able to do is actually have social media logins. So you can use Google and Facebook and get people to connect using those services and join your network the way you want them to. And then any kind of professional services is what it's going to be used for.
Yeah, from your little coffee shop right the way up to your shopping centre. Nucleus has got.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of having it completely scalable for our cloud management solution as well. Yeah.
And I think the next one is an example of that. So our colleagues in France won quite a big contract with a local school so it's a secondary school, not college. That's the French word for secondary school there. Then.
Yeah, my French isn't too good either. So we've already had some great success, and we've had big, smaller installs as well. So don't think that this is certainly the only big one we had. We've had quite a few.
Yeah.
However, we've been lucky enough to get a case study with this one, and it's a large secondary school, as you mentioned, Alan, and we've put in quite a few access points into here. This was before the 2820 was released as well. But luckily, we just had a requirement for the DBA 1210s. They've gone out. Now, this school will obviously grow over time. It'll have different areas. New blocks will be put into place as well. So it's perfect for what we're trying to offer here.
Definitely, yeah. Okay, and then just a quick slide on what's coming next.
Yeah, so this is a good one. We've actually got a small, we call it the hub, so Nucleus Connect Hub. So I mentioned about having that PC that's running the software, the Nucleus Connect software. The hub makes it nice and easy to control your management. So let's say, for example, you don't like the idea of putting it onto a PC, or you don't have something that you can leave on all the time. What you can do is instead use this hub, which has all the software built into the device, preloaded into the device, and it'll manage up to 100 access points. So it's a controller that actually controls all your access points using the new software.
And again, coming soon.
Coming soon for that one, yeah. I've been lucky enough to play around with one in the lab at the moment. It's working really well, so very happy with that.
Fully tested before release.
Fully
tested.
That's
what we like to push on to. And that's about it for our whistle stop tour. We've got some questions. We've gone slightly over time already, so we will whiz through these questions because we know you're busy people. But we would like to get through most of the questions quite quickly.
Okay.
Shouldn't tax Craig too much. First question, what operating systems can Nucleus Connect?
Oh, that's a good one. Did I not mention? Oh, that's silly me. It's Windows and Linux as well. We didn't have Linux on the central Wi-Fi manager, you see. So again, we've gone and you can install it with Docker, runs on Docker. So that's all up and running on Linux as well.
Okay, that's cool. So there's an alternative for you, all you Windows haters. Can you upgrade the Nucleus Connect access points to full cloud? Now that's a good one.
You can't upgrade the Nucleus Connect access points to the full cloud. They are two independent profiles.
Okay.
However, like we mentioned, you've got a single sign-on here. So if you go with the Nucleus Connect, you're still going to get those that connectivity.
Experience.
Yeah, exactly. But what you can do about the software, which you can install that into the cloud. You don't have to, like I said, you don't have to have it local. You can have it remote, so you could have it on a remote PC across the internet. But more importantly, if you want to install it on a cloud service like Amazon's Web Services or Microsoft Azure, you can install it and make your own cloud with software.
Brilliant. I think you touched on it briefly, but someone's just asked for the clarification on how many access points can be managed.
Yeah, so it does depend on the PC that you've got, and there are minimum requirements, but it'll range anywhere from 100 to 1,000 access points.
So on my PC, I could manage 2, maybe, at the speed of this.
Well, yeah, it's struggling to handle the slides, so it's probably going to be the case, Alice.
So no, but it's on average up to.
Yeah, we start at 100, and like I said, for the hub, that's 100 as well.
Most modern PCs, it's not like you need a graphics card beast or anything, is it? It's
no,
mainly about RAM.
No, a modern PC, and like I said, we've got some higher specifications as well.
Brilliant. Outdoor access point. Now, I know this is this is a yes for Nucleus Connect, but I'm going to ask Craig anyway.
It is, yes. So originally we had the 3662, which is still going. That was a release with our CWM software originally. Wave 1 device does do AC, I believe. Right. We've also got 3666 coming very shortly, and that's a Wave 2 device. Very similar, has that outdoor Gore-Tex coating. So yeah, absolutely we can do outdoor with this.
We're looking for that in 2020.
It might be Q4 this year.
That'd be good.
Possibly.
That'd be good. Craig will have to stand outside in the rain to test that one. So
done that many times.
Yeah. Just had a 2 more quick questions. Is there an ongoing license fee? We did touch on that.
We did. So for Nucleus Cloud, yes, there is a license fee. So you purchase an access point, and it'll come with 1 year. So when you connect that to your account, that's when it starts. You'll have a grace period after a year. Gives you a little bit of extra time to try and get your licenses in order. But yes, you'll have to purchase.
It's not going to cut off overnight on that.
It won't cut off overnight, no. It'll give you a small area, and it'll definitely warn you about the licenses that are coming up on the devices as well.
Brilliant.
And then you can purchase 1, 3, or 5 year licenses.
Cool. Is this a replacement for the central Wi-Fi manager? I think we touched on that right at the start.
It is. It is. So if it has all the features of Central Wi-Fi Manager, and if you have the access points, all you need to do is upgrade with the new firmware, and then you can migrate the current CWM that you have to the new platform, and then you'll be up and running.
And that's Nucleus Connect.
That's Nucleus Connect.
Just to be sure.
Nucleus Cloud is all based in the cloud. You use a web browser to get to it, so there's nothing to manage.
Final question then. Is D-Link planning to release router/firewall which can be manageable in cloud along with APs and switches?
Oh, so that's a good question.
There's a toughie for you, Craig.
It's so does it have a gateway? To be continued is what I would say to that.
Watch this space.
Watch this space. Watch this space.
So that's a very good question from Igor. I think we've just had one more pop over. The question earlier from Kevin, is there a guide with the migration from Central Wi-Fi Manager to Nucleus?
Yes. Yes. So he's wondering if there's a guide from CWM to Nucleus Connect. Yes. All of our materials have literally released this week. Certainly, I'll try and if we take your details, Alan, and I'll try and get those guides out to you.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, okay. The downloading of Nucleus Connect is on the nucleus.com.
Yeah, so
site.
If you go to our D-Link website, it's certainly we're heavily promoting it now, and if you click through, then you'll be able to go straight to the software, and you'll see the Linux installs and Windows installs separately.
Free download and
free download.
Feel free to have a tour of the software and let us know anything, what you think about it, any changes, and we can feed them back in.
Yeah, I mean, this certainly isn't the end. This is just the beginning. We're going to be making improvements based upon feedback we get. So please do send in that feedback. It's really important to us.
Fantastic. I think that's it for the questions, we're over by 10 minutes, so I'll just quickly wrap up and say thanks to Craig. He's done a lot of talking in this seminar, in this webinar. It's normally me as the marketeer that does all the talking, but Craig does enjoy his moment in the in the spotlight. Yes, yeah. So just to let you all know, if anybody couldn't make this, or if you want to listen to this again, well, if you want to listen to this again, you must be crazy. But the audio will be distributed for anybody who missed it. We've also got our D-Link UK&I YouTube channel. All our webinars are up on there. So if you missed 2 weeks ago, we did a great webinar on our cover system, new EXO routers, and just how to make the most out of the Wi-Fi across your house. In 2 weeks' time, we'll be back, same place, same time.
Yes, I think we'll be looking at our industrial switches.
Industrial switches. Yep. And Mark, who was on the first switch webinar, will be returning for that. He's very keen to talk to anyone out there who is having some problems with Wi-Fi or their network in a big industrial environment, maybe a warehouse or something similar. Yep. So that's a must tune in. If you've got time, go on to dlink.com/events, or just go to dlink.com. There's an events button at the bottom. It will tell you all about our upcoming webinars. After industrial switches, we've got another one on smart homes, keeping me busy writing all these presentations for you. And also on the events page, you'll find details of our switch training, which would be great if you can come along to one of those events. We've got one up in Manchester.
Yes, you're sending me all the way to Manchester. Can't wait.
We've bought Craig a coat so that he doesn't get too cold. That session's filling up quickly. I believe there's just a couple of spaces left on that one.
Yeah, so just to be clear, we're going through switches, and a very quick update. We're going to be looking at VLANs, going to be looking at LACP, CLI guides, and we're just showing you how to actually get the best use out of this in a day's training.
Yeah, and then we have another session in London in November before Craig takes a well-earned holiday. So that's about it from us. As I said, thank you for turning up, and we'll see you hopefully all again next week. Bye now.
Thanks, everyone.